Just please understand that any advice in today's session is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Alright, so let us get started at what we have on our calendar this particular week. We are leading into the first week of December, which basically means the first week of the month is traditionally heavy data week. So there's lots happening in terms of data. The highlight, of course, is non-farm payroll job numbers on Friday. And there's two major emphases that will dictate the next 3 weeks of trading. Okay, now typically December starts to get a little bit light on volume around about the 5th of December, and it starts to pick up again around about, say, the 5th to the 10th of January next year. Now, but this particular December is a little bit different because there's two major expectations in the market that everybody is waiting for. So there is a new breed of, I guess, player in the market, or a new breed of money in the market at the moment, which is waiting for the outcome of two particular events. The first being what the Fed will do in December with regards to its interest rates decision. Okay, and that takes place. Let me have a quick glance at a calendar over here. Give me 1 second. I think that one is in the week of the 14th of December. So probably what's going to happen is we're going to still get good trading conditions for the next 3 weeks, and then the volume will start to ease off. Now, the two major events are the interest rate decision and also what the ECB will do with its new stimulus program, which they will reveal this Thursday. So the highlights for this particular week, we have many of them, but the highlight is going to be, let me just highlight with my marker for you. Give me 1 second. So we have, where are we? The ECB conference over here on the wee hours of Thursday morning, or midnight, just after midnight on Friday morning for us in Australian Eastern Standard Time, is when the ECB will let us know what their new stimulus program is, how much variations they're going to continue with what's currently been in place, and so forth. And then we have non-farm. Now, just to put things into perspective, the US wants to increase rates, okay, which means strength, and the euro wants to print more money, which means weakness. Okay, this combination spells lots and lots of trouble for the euro. Now, for a large percentage of this movement, which we have already been seeing, and we're well into a trade ourselves on this, the market has largely factored this into account. Now, what the market has not factored in are the conditions. All right, so for example, most of us are already expecting the rate rise to happen in December, and most of us are expecting more quantitative easing to occur. What we don't know is how much the rate is going to be, and what we don't know is what the plans for a stimulus program is going to be. So if it should be something that doesn't really satisfy the market, we could see the EURUSD go up instead of down. When these things happen, largely is because so many people have positioned themselves into the market, and then when it finally occurs, it has not come into the expectation of the market. All right, so I often get asked the question, oh, but the rates went up, but the currency went down, or something along those lines, and people don't understand the reasons for it. So does everybody understand what I'm trying to explain to you here? So yes, we all think that this is going to happen. We just don't know to what degree it might happen and the quantity of it as well. Now, should they not do it at all, well then the EURUSD might skyrocket back up 300-400 pips because everybody's expecting these things to happen, and if they don't occur, well then this is going to be something that surprises the market significantly. Okay, all right, so the highlights for the week are non-farm, as I said, and what the ECB says about their monetary policy or their stimulus program. Of course, on the closer front to Australia, we got the RBA rate decision, okay, which happens traditionally on the first Tuesday of the month. No one is really expecting any surprises here, but you never know. We also have retail figures, and what's the other one that we have? and the trade balance. Let me find them. There's the trade balance and the retail figures here, down here. Okay, so these are the Australian data for the week. Okay, we also have a big week for the GBP. Okay, now last week they had disappointing house price and GDP numbers, which essentially pushed the GDP down. When we get to our technicals and we have a look at the chart, unfortunately it didn't quite get to the levels that we were looking for, and we didn't actually get a good setup to trade off that pattern that we have been tracking. But we have services PMI on the GBP, we have construction PMI, we also have the bank stress results. All these factors makes this week a very volatile movement for us. Okay, so I believe that for this particular week, the currency that's going to be the one most under the pump due to data is going to be the EURUSD. All right, and specifically because if the non-farm numbers, this is essentially the last hurdle. If the non-farm numbers come in, very close to this 201 number that they're looking for, well then pretty much that's as good a green light as you're going to get. And then what will happen is as soon as this number comes into expectation or better, most people are going to take the punt that they're going to raise the rates, and we should see massive US dollar strength. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that this number, a lot of people are going to make their decision based off an interest rate decision based off this number. This is the last bit of data, major data before that meeting. Okay, so when the meeting occurs in 3 weeks' time, if they do raise rates there, everybody's already positioned themselves into the market. So just keep an eye on that one. All right. Let me see anything else that I wanted to point out. Gold. Gold at the moment, we've come down significantly. Actually, as the US dollar strengthens, gold has been weakening. Obviously, gold does not pay any interest. It's just a piece of metal. So money is moving out of the metal and into US dollar in expectation of an interest rate. And also, India, which is the biggest consumer of gold, is at an 8-year low of in terms of buying of the metal. And this has particularly been hurt specifically by back-to-back droughts that have occurred, and it's basically hurt millions of farmers. So gold purchasing or gold buying in India is significantly low, and they're the biggest consumers of gold in the world. All right, let us bring our charts up. Type away your questions at any point, and let's see what the market has for us today. Okay, all right, now I'll warn you off the top of the top, I've been looking at my charts for the last 2 hours, and it's extremely light on trade opportunities, but let's see what we can see. If anybody sees something or has been looking at something, let me know. We'll reanalyze it and see if it brings us something to be able to trade. All right, Aussie dollar. Here we go. The pattern that we've been tracking, I think we were around about here last week, and I said let's wait for it. It hasn't quite reached us. So essentially where we are right now, I'm kind of right in the middle of that region. Now, from a fundamental point of view, I'm looking at any opportunity to sell Aussie dollar. I'm really trying to sell it. But I just won't sell it off like a hunch kind of thing. So I was really, really hoping that we were going to get up there and give us a good sell into this. Now, what may happen during the week is we may get a push, and we may still get that opportunity to sell into it. Okay, now I do need to see that confirmation. So I'm looking for an inside candle or an engulfing candle, something of that nature on this edge, on this top. If I get it, I will sell it. Okay, that's pretty much all I have for the Aussie dollar. The alternative is that we could come down here, and then come Friday we're over here, and then we get the big breaking candle down there. That will also be a selling opportunity. Okay, so look out for those two scenarios. So either the breakdown. Now, yes, we could get the break up as well, and in theory that is a tradable option, and I guess yes, we could trade that one. I just get the feeling that fundamentally with a rate decision virtually like it's not 100%, but we're sitting at about 85%. Um, I'm looking for shorting opportunities more than buying opportunities. Okay, so that's my game plan for the Aussie dollar. Right now we're in the middle, so I will do nothing and we'll just have to sit it out. Okay, let's move on and let's have a look at the Euro USD. Okay, so this was an interesting one. Can I just get a show of hands who is still in this Euro USD chart trade? Sorry, like myself. We've got Alan's in. Anybody else? Richard. We're losing people. How long we been in this trade? We got 3. There's another one raised in there as well. I think we got in over here. This candle here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. So we're getting close to 3 weeks on this trade. Okay, so some of you are still in there. We came within a whisker of hitting our target. We came within about 4 pips of hitting our full target on the trade. Everybody can see where we started the trade, and my stop is now at entry. For those of us that are still in the trade, let me just have a quick look at how close we are to our target. We're about 23 pips from the target, and we're sitting at 235 pips positive. Do we want to close it out? There is a risk this week, the Euro USD being so much volatility due to these things that I just mentioned, that we could rebound and give back all of our profit. So I'm going to give you 2 options. One is we're 23 pips away from our target. Let's just close out. Option 1. Option 2, let me change my profile. I'm going to move to my T-Chaser profile. And if you remember with the T-Chaser, for those, I covered it only a couple of weeks back. If we were trading this based off T-Chaser, we would have got an entry into this trade right there. Our original stop would have been up there, and then we've moved the stop from there to there to there, and that's where we are right now, to there and to there. So the question is, for the ones that are currently in the trade, we can either close out now, 20 pips short of our target, or we can bump this to that level and let's move our target further away. What would you like to do? Even if you're not in the trade, think as if you are in the trade. Okay, so we're in a trade where we've already locked in half of our profit, and even if we get stopped out, we're not going to lose anything on the trade, and we're coming into a week of big volatility. All right, so we can either, if it all goes our way, this could continue to drop even further. All right, now if we just leave it as it is and it goes down, we're only going to collect an extra 23 pips from where we are right now. So I'll just tell you what some of you are saying. Some people are saying move the stop, second option, move the stop, bump the target down further away. Okay, so everybody someone's asking, am I at a triple bottom? This would not be classified a true triple bottom, Romy. Let me drop down a time division. So what you're referring to is this. 1, 2, 3. Normally what I'd like for a true, something like a triple bottom or something like that, I'd want to see it on the same time frame that I'm trading, and I would have liked it to be like there, and then something like that, where they're spaced out. Okay, when you see it all here tight like this just simply says to me there's pressure. The market is trying to go down, and we keep finding new buyers to push it back up. It's going down, push it back up, pushing down. Eventually, all those people that are pushing back will just drive it straight through. That's what it normally looks like. Let me zoom out a little bit more. No, see that there's that bottom there. See, they're at different levels. We're not at the same level yet. Okay, so it's not a triple bottom. Okay, so all right. So let's do what we said. Let me just change my profile back to the one that I normally look at, and I will move my stop. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is that's where our stop is right now, and I'm going to move it to here. Okay, and I'll move the target further away. Let me move my stop first. The high of this candle is 106.88, so I'm just going to go to 107. Okay, 107, 000, 107. Okay, everybody see now that I've moved my stop down, and let's have a look where can we place this target. I get the feeling if we get all the news in our favor, let me zoom out a little bit. If we get all the news in our favor, there's probably a lot of people with stops just over here. So if we break down, we could rush straight through that. So let's try and take advantage of that. And let's put our stop around about here, I reckon. So I'm going to push it down to about here. So I'm moving it to, let's go 104.07. Everybody got that? So just showing you what I've done. I've moved my stop to 107 and my target I've moved it to 104.07. We all on that? So that means if I actually come back and get stopped out now, I will still make some profit. I'll actually make around about 120 pips on the trade. All right. Okay. Now let's see if there's any other opportunities on this. Can everybody hear me okay? Some of you are saying that you can't. Everybody's good? Okay, if it's a little bit choppy, most people are saying it's okay. Some of you are saying it's a little bit choppy. Try re-log out and log back in. The class will continue. It's being recorded in any case. Okay, it's more than likely the internet on your side than my side. Okay, let's have a look. You know what? On the EURUSD, I don't want to have a look at anything else other than what we've got. So let's just stick with what we've got, and let's move on to the next one. Let's go GBPUSD. Okay, GBPUSD. Oh, we nearly got an entry up there, and we didn't get that. Let's look for it here. Let's look for this trade. Okay, now if we do get it, this trade will almost be the opposite of that EURUSD. If we get an upward trade, we cannot, this one, the trade down, breaking down, that's not applicable to a falling wedge. So the only trade that we're looking for at this particular point is here. Now, the other option was I was looking at this and we could kind of see this as a double bottom here and try and trade a double bottom. But for some reason, I just don't like this pattern. It's just falling so nicely. So I am not going to take the attempt to take this double bottom trade. So sometimes when we see a double top or a double bottom, if you look out and it's inside a bigger pattern like this is why they fail sometimes. Okay, so this trade here, let's leave that one alone. Let's not look for that. Let's wait for this over here and see if we can get an opportunity to trade upwards in that direction. Okay, so in an ideal world, we'll get a trade up, and then we're going to get an opportunity to get one more trade down as we get the big momentum swinging Fed rate decision. Okay, that's in an ideal world. So let's see if we can actually take advantage of that. So right now, GBPUSD, there is nothing on my daily. Let me have a quick look at my 4-hour chart. No, there's nothing there. Has anybody seen anything else on the GBPUSD that they'd like to point out to me? Like I said, I've been looking at my charts for a few hours before this class and really struggling for something clear cut. All right, so GBPUSD, we must wait. Okay, so the pattern is really good pattern. We just got to wait for a setup. Okay, so let's move on. Let's have a look at gold. Okay, gold. Remember when we saw gold a couple of weeks back and we had just had that candle there and we said this is one of those really difficult psychological trades. We've just watched gold come all this way down there, and at this point basically we've got an entry to go short to continue the ride. Look what's happened. It's fallen through. It busted through this hot spot area as well that we marked out, and it's really now like I don't know where the floor is on gold. I really don't want to touch it. 1000 comes to mind as a big psychological number. So let's have a look at a weekly chart just to have a quick look where we're set. You can see on our weekly chart we've just broken into brand new territory. Look, this is going back to 2012 here, and we've taken out all the lows. So we're in uncharted territory. We haven't been this low for a long time. So essentially, when that happens, you don't really want to try out like a cheeky rebound trade. Probably at 1000, it's such a psychological number that probably there will be some kind of a little rebound at 1000, but we're not there yet. So, and I'm not willing to try it out. If I had a look at some fib numbers, we are right now at the 161. There's my 161 Fibonacci number. So for the very, very, very courageous, what we might get here is we might be able to pick up a little cheeky if this candle say finishes like this today. Tomorrow this one will have a fractal, and you'll be able to try and take a break-in trade in this direction. The reason for the trade is that it's basically an ABC pattern, which is sitting on the 161 Fibonacci retracement, which is right there. Okay, now I can't confirm this one until tomorrow, but for the courageous who have been edging and willing and wanting to go long gold after watching it go down for so long, this would be the first proper opportunity that you would get to say, okay, I've got a reason to go long now. Now, if you do go long on this trade, just to give you an idea, let's just say that the entry level is, it doesn't matter where the entry level is, but let me tell you what you could expect as targets. Give me one moment. The first target, which probably would be the one that you would look at, would be about 1084. Okay, so 1084. If we get a setup, what might happen is your entry may be, it may be around about this level somewhere. Let me just measure that. That's about 108.60. Okay, so I'm just guessing where the entry could be, 108.60. I don't know till tomorrow, but your target would be around about 108.4, and it would be that little journey there. If this current candle turns out to be an inside candle, your stop would be below this candle that will have the fractal if it's set up tomorrow. Does everybody understand that? Now, it is a courageous trade, but it's the first time that I've got an actual reason to attempt a counter trade on gold. Okay? We all clear on that one? Yep. Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do is if I see it set tomorrow, I will send it out as a Twitter alert so that you can be notified of it and you can have a look at it for yourself. All right, so that's gold, and we'll know if that one's on the cards tomorrow. Let's move on, have a look at the US yen. Okay, the US yen, I got stopped out. My second half of the trade got stopped out. We had started the trade there. I took target 1 and then I moved my stop to entry and I got stopped out over here. Is anybody still in this trade? Can I get a show of hands? Okay, Romy is. I'm assuming that anybody that's in this trade is long. Is that correct? Great. Okay. All right. So if you're still in this trade, well, everything fundamentally still looks as solid as last week and the week before. And as you can see, the market did pull back, but it's showing some kind of a bounce over here. What I'm looking, because I have no positions in US yen right now, I took half a profit, and on the second half of the trade, I just took out a neutral trade, so I lost nothing. So what I'm looking for, I get the feeling that we're setting up another little congestion, but I don't know how long we're going to stay in here. I think non-farm payrolls this week will bump us out into, sorry, into the next region in that direction. Okay, so right now where we are, I'm just going to stay put. If this was to fall out down the bottom here and give me a little inside candle situation like that, I will jump on again to try and get up. So essentially what I'm trying to say is if we fall out of it, and I'm happy to try and take another pullback buy to reposition myself into this trade. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, if this comes out, to jump back in. All right, actually I think I just saw one right now. Give me 1 second. Is that an inside candle there, guys? These two combination? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, great. Everybody says yes. Good. Now what I need to check is, did we break the top first or did we break the bottom first? I don't know. So let me just check that. Give me one moment while I check. It broke the bottom first. So this is the start of that candle. It broke the bottom and then broke the top. So based off that, had I been trading this live and I saw it happen, when it happened, I would have had to have cancelled my order out, so I would not be in this trade. So because of that, I won't start a trade right now. However, if I get these two candles give me the setup here, then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get back in on this trade. Okay, so if I get the setup in trend, I will take it. I will send the alert if it pops up. There is a chance that we could be ready tomorrow. Okay, Romy, how did I check? All right, basically I dropped a vertical line through that candle. Okay, then I put a high and a low on this little red candle, and then I have to drop down time divisions. I drop down to a 4-hour chart, and then I move across and I see which line got broken, the top line or the bottom line. If I still couldn't tell on a 4-hour, I drop down to a 1-hour chart. Okay, so it's not too complicated, but it's a little bit tricky to explain. All right, so because that's how I can tell if, in theory, I'm allowed to just take the trade right now. And because of that, I'm not allowed to take it right now. All right, so US yen, for those of you who are in it, and it looks like there's a lot of you who are still in this trade, well then just still stay in there. And for those of us who are not in it, we're looking for some kind of a pullback entry to jump back in. Okay? All right, let's move on. Euro yen. Okay, Euro yen has slipped out of the falling wedge. We are not allowed to trade down on a wedge which is falling, so there is no trade here. So that means let's get rid of these lines and let's start again. Let's see if we can see anything new on the Euro yen. One moment. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind, let me zoom in, is it looks like we're in a trend. We agree with that? Yes? Great. So what we're going to try and do is, if we get any kind of a pullback, we're going to try and pick up trades on a pullback. The euro seems to be in a trend down. All right, so this is a trade that I'd like to take advantage of. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for pullbacks, and I need to, let me see if I can show you something that what I would be looking for. Okay, this is an example. See, in this section here, we're in a trend up. It pulls back, and then here we get the engulfing candle right there. So right at that point, you take your trade upwards. That's what we're looking for, but in the opposite direction. All right, so because I can see there's some new faces in the room, that's the type of setup that we're looking for. All right, but we're looking for it over here as we come down and then just shoot down. All right, so Euro yen right now, as it is where we are exactly right now, there is no trade. So let me just check the Fibonacci levels 1 second. See, we've gone through the 161. Okay. So that basically means that we can't look for a bounce. And notice that, see, that's the 161. We did get a little bit of a bounce. So, but we didn't trade that, but there you go. Okay. Let me get rid of this one. Kiwi dollar. Kiwi dollar is one that I'm really, really looking. I'm trying to get in short Kiwi dollar. And I haven't had an opportunity to see this candle sequence here, it's not the greatest. It's a reversal candle sequence, but it's not the prettiest, or it's not the cleanest. So who wants to trade short Kiwi dollar based off that 3 candle pattern that I'm just showing you right now? The theory behind it is that I'm started a trend down, it's pulled back, it's showing me this 3 candle sequence, and we're going to attempt to go in this direction. Can I just get a show of hands? If we get a majority, I'll take the trade with you. So what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One person says no. 8, 9. I've got 9 yeses, 2 nos. 11. Okay, alright, let's do it. So we're gonna, okay, let me talk you through the trade. For those of you who don't know, this 3 candle sequence is, it's kind of like we got a little shooting star off the top and then engulfing. It's essentially, it's a reversal pattern. Okay, it's these 3 here, just to highlight them. It's a type of reversal pattern. So what we're doing is we're in a downtrend and it's pulled back, and we've got the pattern on a pullback. So the theory is that we should now continue going downwards. So what we're going to do is we are going to, technically we should have entered here, but we're going to get a better price up here. So we're going to go short at market, and I'm going to place my stop. But because I've got a bit of extra room here, instead of placing my stop there, I'm going to place it on this one here, guys, a little bit higher, just to give myself a little bit extra room. And because I'm getting a bit of a bargain, because I'm getting it cheaper, I'm going to go for this stop there. Okay, does everybody agree with what or understand what I'm trying to do? A couple of comments being made. Isn't it like a reversal head and shoulders? It's a 38.2 retracement as well. Okay, yeah, hang on a second. Okay, all right, so everybody agrees. Okay, someone is saying that this here is a 38.2 fib retracement. I'm sure it is. It looks like it to my eye. Somebody's saying it's an inverse head and shoulders. I can't see it. Maybe in a smaller time frame. I can't see that one. Okay, so I'm going to have to say no on that one. Either way, I'm going to place my stop. What's the high of this candle? 66.04. So let's go to 66. Let's make it 66.10, which puts me at about 65 pips. I'm going to risk $100 on it. So it's 100 divided by 65, which is $1.50 per pip. EURUSD, so I'm going to trade 0.12. Okay, here I go. Let me just double check I'm in the right account. Yes, I am. I'm going to go 0.12. 60, what did I say? 66.10. And I'll put anything for now, and I'll just adjust it in one moment. Sell. Okay. As you can see, I've just entered. That's my entry. I'm going in this direction. There is my stop. That's a 65 point stop, and I've traded 0.12, which will be approximately $100 of risk. And my target is I'm going to adjust this to 130 points. Puts me just beyond this bottom. But what I'll also do is when I get to 1-to-1, I'll take the relevant action that I need to take. Okay? Any questions on that trade? We all good on that one? Okay, great. Let's carry on. Last one for the week. Euro AUD. I put out a Euro AUD trade on Twitter, and I got stopped out on that one. What I was trying to do is trade an inside candle off those two candles, and we look at that. I just got triggered only by the barest of margins, and then it went straight down and stopped me out. Okay, did anybody else take this trade and get stopped out? Can I just get a show of hands? Okay, one person did. Anybody else? Romy you're still in the trade, Romy? Did you move your stop? Linda took the trade as well. Because I got stopped out. If you, okay, Romy had a bigger stop. Okay, all right. So I got stopped out of that trade. So, but the reasoning behind that was what we had spoken about, that we were at a hot spot here. You can see the hot spot, and we got an inside candle formation. And when I took the trade, I'm pretty sure that I would have had a fractal showing right there. Let me just double check this. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you see? That's what I sent out through Twitter, and you can see the fractal. The fractal was there when I sent out the trade. All right. So for those of you who are not familiar with a fractal, essentially because the market then came down and made a lower low, the fractal disappeared off my chart. But at the time, it was correct. And had the market gone upwards, like we thought it was going to go up, the fractal would have still been there. So the correct place to put your stop was right there where I've just drawn it in. Okay. And essentially, it was a failed trade, and that's okay. That's just the way that trading goes. But then you can see now on my live chart that the fractal is missing. It's not there. Okay, so this trade is gone, and the only trade that I think might be possible here, let me just zoom out a little bit, is maybe a Fibonacci number. So no, that's not there. There is absolutely nothing on the Euro Aussie at the moment. So what we'll do is let's leave the Euro Aussie alone, and this is one that we're not going to touch. Okay, so but it's important for me to explain to you that so that at least we understand our failed trades as well, because they're just as important as our winning trades. And if I show you last week's, what we did last week, we should be able to see it. We got, there's that Euro AUD, and you can see that I had put a risk of $100 on it and I lost 180 cents. Okay, this Euro Yen trade was off our Thursday class. I got stopped out on 2 trades last week. Never mind. It's the way it goes. Hopefully we'll do better this week. What we've done is we've locked in more profit on this particular trade. This trade here, we've moved our stop, so we've locked in more profit, and we've just started this Kiwi trade. our balance is there, our equity is at 5.5, so hopefully we'll continue to move forward. Any questions on anything that I've shown today? What I'd like to say while you type out your question is this week, just for this week only, on Thursday, I am running a live workshop, so I can't do my class on Thursday. So what we will do is we will do this week's class will be held on a Friday. It's 3:30, but on Friday it will be recorded anyway. So for the ones that can't make it because there's been a timetable change or something along those lines, you can still get the recording. But this week's class, it won't be on Thursday, it will be on Friday at 3:30. And what we're going to start to work on is we're going to start to work with price action trading, which is exactly all the things that we do on a Monday. All right, so for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be doing price action in trends, counter trends, and breakouts. Okay, so any questions? Let me recap what we've done. Aussie dollar, we're waiting for the market to come to us. Euro USD, we have moved our stop forward to the last fractal. Our stop is now sitting at 107, and we've pushed our target further down to 104.07. Currently the trade is 235 pips in our favor, and we're hoping that it breaks down, takes out all those stop orders and gets us more profit. Okay, GBPUSD, we're waiting to see what happens at the perimeter. Gold tomorrow, let's look to see if we have an inside candle, and we might have an opportunity to take a counter trend trade off the 161 Fibonacci extension. US yen, we're waiting for a pullback for the ones that are not in this trade. We're looking for a pullback for re-entry. For those of you who are in it, well, we're still remaining in the trade. Euro yen, we have nothing at this stage. Kiwi dollar, we've just taken a short based off a 3 candle reversal formation in a downtrend. Our stop, we got in at 65.46, stop at 66.10, and our target 64.19. Don't forget your 1-to-1 point action point as well. Euro AUD, we are doing nothing Euro AUD after we got stopped out on a trade last week. Any final questions? No, we're all good. Don't forget this week the class again will be on Friday. Someone's asked me to have a look at the US Swissy. Give me one moment. Whoa, one-way traffic. Let's have a look. 800 pips in one direction. After last year's massive Swiss bank intervention, that big candle there that I've just highlighted, I deleted this chart off all my charts, and I haven't really looked at it. And I've been reluctant to trade anything with a Swiss pair. Looking at this particular chart right over here, there is right now where we are, there is nothing that I want to do in this one. We're in a nice trend. If anything, you're waiting for pullbacks. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, let's call it a day.